Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Lee, and first and foremost, rest in peace to the wife of Greg Popovich. For those of you that don't know, Erin Popovich, Greg Popovich's wife, just passed away yesterday. And when I first saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shook because, that's Greg Popovich. I can only imagine what he's going through right now, so my condolences, wishing you all the best, the entire Spurs organization, all the best, It really sucks. Extremely sad news. Anyways though, we still do have some stuff to talk about today, and we're gonna talk about it, but first, a quick word about this video sponsor, athleticcase.com. Basketball, baseball, football, or soccer, no matter what the sport, you guys can now rock your favorite player on the back of your phone. Use the promo code ZachLee for 10% off. Links are in the description box below. Alright, so what we gotta talk about today is how long can LeBron James actually keep this up? So of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers evened up the season series with the Indiana Pacers at one game apiece yesterday with a 100-97 win, and even though this game was a win for the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I think most people expected them to win this game, I'm starting to become extremely concerned about the Cleveland Cavaliers, because let's just take a minute to realize what it took for them to get this win, while remembering the fact that they barely got the win. They were one shot away from losing. So to start off, LeBron James at the beginning of the game decided, like everyone else, that he had to come out a lot more aggressive, looking for his own shot so the Cavs don't fall into an early deficit like they did in game one. So he came out and scored the first 16 points for the Cleveland Cavaliers, had 20 of their 33 points in the first quarter, and in that first quarter, it looked like it was going to be a blowout for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they led 33-18 after one. But you also have to remember that in that first quarter, Victor Oladipo picked up a couple of really fast, questionable calls. The refs wanted to keep him out of the game as long as they could, so he had to set out essentially the entire first quarter. And once the second quarter started with Victor Oladipo back in the game, the Pacers started to stabilize, started to get back into the game, and they were fighting their way through the LeBron James onslaught. And like I said, they did this all the way until the final buzzer. Had a shot to send the game into overtime, and if it went into overtime, we all know that it was the Pacers who would have come out on top. Look, LeBron James had to score 46 points, played at least 40 minutes for the second game in a row just to be able to eke out a win over the Indiana Pacers. Am I wrong to be concerned about this? This is just round one, people, and already LeBron is having to try and carry the Cavs like it was the 2015 finals. Here's the thing, even if he can keep replicating performances like this, because apparently that's what's going to take to win since no one else on the team wants to do anything, J.R. Smith, who was put into the starting lineup after his strong showing in game one, and what does he do for you? What do you get from him? He puts up what, 4 points? Actually, oh, my bad, I just checked. 5 points. 5 points, JR. Bench ain't doing nothing. Other starters ain't doing nothing. So even if LeBron can keep replicating performances like this, that doesn't even guarantee the Cavs a win over the Pacers, because like I alluded to earlier, if Victor Oladipo doesn't pick up those 2 quick fouls and get pulled out of the game for the entire first quarter, I don't even think the Cavs win last night, despite LeBron James putting up 46 points. That being said though, even if the Cavs do make it past Indy and LeBron can keep performing like this, is he going to be able to do the same thing in round 2 against the Toronto Raptors? And if he's somehow able to get them past the Raptors by duplicating performance after performance just like this one, since this is apparently what it takes to win, what about when he makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals? How long can LeBron James keep this up? He is the only thing keeping this team afloat, and we all knew this. We already know that the Cavs have no chance in the NBA Finals either, whether it's against the Houston Rockets or the Golden State Warriors. Whoever they play, it's going to be a real quick, painful series for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think I give the Raptors or even the Sixers a better chance of beating whoever comes out of the West in an upset before the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think what we're all starting to realize is the fact that this Cleveland Cavaliers team is just trash. We're used to the Cavs or the Miami Heat or whatever team LeBron James on at the time taking it up to a different level once the playoffs start. No matter how bad they look during the regular season, they would elevate their game to another level in the NBA playoffs. They would flip the switch. Problem with this Cavs team is they don't have any switches. Rodney Hood doesn't have a switch. George Hill doesn't have a switch. Jeff Green and Jordan Clarkson don't have switches. I guess Kevin Love never got a switch ever since he came there because he never really stepped up in the playoffs. What we're seeing from this Cleveland Cavaliers team right now is exactly what we were seeing in the regular season. This for them, outside of some random nights where they would get blazing hot from beyond the arc and just destroy whatever team they played, except for those rare nights, this is exactly what we were seeing during the regular season. This is as good as it gets, I guess. And that's why this matchup with Indiana feels more like the 4v5 matchup than it actually is, instead of the Indiana Pacers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you know what I mean. Because once again, it took 46 points, playing over 40 minutes, and Victor Oladipo having to sit out the entire first quarter for the Cleveland Cavaliers to be able to eke out a win over the Indiana Pacers. If that's not concerning, I don't know what is. The Utah Jazz came out in attack mode yesterday. In the first game of the series against the Thunder, it was the Thunder who were the more aggressive team, and it resulted in the Thunder going up 1-0 in the series. The Jazz looked to flip the script last night, and that is exactly what they did. And going down the line for the Jazz, there were just so many great individual performances, from Donovan Mitchell and his 28 points, to Ricky Rubio and his 22 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, Derek Favors and his 20 points, 16 rebounds. And all of those guys were great. And of course, the Jazz weren't winning with them doing what they did. But I think the guy who gets overlooked the most last night was Rudy Gobert. I said after the Thunder won game 1 that if the Jazz wanted to find ways to win the series, that Rudy Gobert would have to win and dominate his matchup with Steven Adams, which he hadn't been able to do yet this season. Gobert, though, finally did that last night. You look at the box score and you see that he only had 13 points, so you think he didn't do that much, but that doesn't tell you the full story. He was causing some serious problems for the Oklahoma City Thunder. More specifically, he was causing some serious problems for Steven Adams, who fouled out in only 22 minutes trying to keep Rudy Gobert in check. I mean, Rudy went to the free throw line 12 times, and with Adams only being able to play in limited minutes due to the aggression that the Jazz and Rudy Gobert were having in the paint yesterday, I mean, with Adams out of the game, the paint became wide open, which made it much easier for Derek Favors and Donovan Mitchell to do what they do. And it also made it a lot easier for Gobert to get rebounds and block shots as well, since he didn't have to worry about Adams keeping away from where he needs to be on the court. Gobert with 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 steals to go along with those 13 points. Defensive Player of the Year right there. So yes, I do have to give a lot of the credit to this game for Rudy Gobert and him essentially being able to take Steven Adams out of the game, which helped out the rest of the team a heck of a lot. Him being as assertive as he was down low really opened up the game for the rest of the Jazz in my eyes. Also though, I mean, this is the definition of OKC. They were so great in the first game, only to play like this the very next game. They are literally a Russian roulette basketball team, one of the most inconsistent teams that I have ever seen, because they can play extremely well on levels that rival the Golden State Warriors, but then the next night turn around and essentially defeat themselves. You just get what you get when it comes to OKC. And yeah, this series, it's over. It's absolutely over. If you lose to the Houston Rockets by 20 points, when James Harden shoots 2 of 18 from the field, you don't have a chance. No one can save you anymore. And really, this was the exact opposite of the Rockets compared to their first game. The first time, James Harden carried them with 44 points, and this time, he was carried by the rest of the team, including Chris Paul. That being said, I just don't understand how in the playoffs, Karl Anthony Towns, you only put up 5 points and 10 rebounds. Jeff Teague, how do you only have 1 assist but 4 turnovers? Jimmy Butler, are you good? Are you still injured or something, because you're playing like it? The Wolves fans waited 14 years to see their team back in the playoffs again, and this is the best you guys can do. The Rockets once again didn't even play great last night. Shot below 40% from the field, only hitting 16 of their 52 3-point attempts, and you guys still get blown out by 20 points. Look, they gave you chances the first 2 games to win. All you had to do was show up and play. You didn't take advantage of either of those chances. So it's over now. It's absolutely over. Towns, you really need to do something, my guy. What is it? 8 or 9 points the first game, now 5 in the second. Is it going to be 2 in game 3 and scoreless in game 4 at this rate? You're way too talented to only score 5 points in the playoffs. That being said, once again, this series is over. I'd be surprised if the Wolves won a game. And going into the offseason, there are going to have to be a lot of changes coming for the Wolves after this playoff showing, starting with finding a new head coach. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA videos. Also, huge shout out to everyone who has downloaded and checked out my new app, who played it live yesterday, SportsQ. We're legit sitting right at the edge of 5,000 downloads now, and we almost had 1,200 users playing live yesterday. I mean, the amount of support you guys have shown in the app since it went live a few weeks ago is just insane, so I seriously can't thank you enough for that. Anyways though, thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!